All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Didier Souillat, and I'm the CEO of Time Out Markets. I'm here today to talk to you about the food hall renaissance, but I consider it more of a revolution myself. So I'd like to explain to you how we at Time Out Market intend to be part of that movement. Food halls, food stalls, food markets, food courts, food emporiums, gastro halls, markthalle, mercados, more and more halls, more and more gastronomical temples. What is driving all this? Everyone is looking for that special place. The tourists, the locals, that fun place where you can go and have a good food at a good price in a convivial surrounding. A place that has been curated for you, your friends, your family. What a journey the food hall concept has had over the past 50 years, right? We all remember those sticky food halls, food courts in airports, from the hawker centers of Singapore to the modern day food halls, the KaDeWe in Berlin, the Italy, the Harrods, La Boqueria in Barcelona, El Mercado San Miguel in Madrid, Borough Market in London. Who would have thought that New York is about to become the food hall capital of the world? The city has over 30 food halls, another 10 opening just this year, another 200 openings in the USA by 2020. 100 food halls in Europe, double in the pipeline. I've been lucky and privileged over the past 20 years to eat my way through many cities, many continents, and follow emerging trends. And I couldn't help noticing the slow decline, the slow death of the white tablecloths. What do I mean by that? Well, we all remember the creation of Wagamama 20 years ago, and the concept of communal seating, ambiance, good quality, honest prices. Then restaurants like Hakkasan, the ones from Jason Atherton, for instance, gaining Michelin stars without the need of a tablecloth. We even have a pub in the UK that has 2 Michelin stars. There is a demand to democratize fine dining, a desire to eat quality food, to share it in a convivial setting with a large choice, fine dining for all, and an average spend of $20 maximum. What you can see from this picture is people eating quality food from Michelin star chefs in proper plate, proper chinaware, proper cutlery, not from disposables, a full-size plate, not a taster portion, in a communal and convivial environment. A place where the tourists go, obviously, but also the locals. This is not street food. Nothing better to see 3 generations of the same family eating together in those environments, eating something different, something that they each want to eat. I represent a brand, Time Out Market, that is both a food market and a cultural hub. With this distinction, that is fully based on editorial curation. What that means is that all those reviews that people trust, those comments from independent reviewers, have come to life via the Time Out Market. And now we have a physical presence. So you have the magazine in print, you have the digital platform, and we in the markets are the physical representation of what the magazine is about. For restaurants, bars, art, music, events, experiences, the best of the city under one roof. I hope this gives you a good feel of what we're doing at Time Out Markets. Over 3.6 million visitors last year, 800 seats, peaks at 20,000 customers a day. Arguably the most popular attraction in the city, and in less than 3 years. Revenue grew last year by 115%. Reason for this trend? The quality of the food, the conviviality, culture element, the price points, the millennials changing the shopping and eating culture. They value experience over purchase. From a tenant perspective, rents and rates, as we all know, in city centers are increasingly dangerously for restaurant operators. All our tenants in Lisbon make more profit from their 20 square meters than they do from their main restaurant. Less risk, high density, the opportunity to try new dishes. The footfall is there. They can be innovative. They can try risk. They try new things with no risk. Food halls are becoming city center must-haves. They act as catalysts on the neighborhoods, bringing back old buildings in the heart of the social scene. They have a very, very positive impact and knock-on effect on the neighboring retailers. They become an anchor to many forms of redevelopment. Example can be seen with the Time Out Market in Lisbon, who used to be the red light district before, but also with the Foodhallen in Amsterdam and the Markthalle in Rotterdam. Location, everybody can be successful on weekends. We all know that. The real successful players are successful on Monday lunch. So you need people that work in that location. You need people that live in that location. And you need local tourists as international tourists to go to that location. You also need to be authoritative, and you need to curate a mix that has flexibility. The importance of being authoritative is key. I've seen so many food halls around the world with 10 offers or less, with a lifespan of a couple of years only, because they become boring and obsolete very quickly. It is key to have a wide choice and have the opportunity to change your mix. Not all of it, but change a percentage of your mix every year. All our tenants have shorter deals, but we pay for the fit out. How can we say that we have the pulse of the city if we have the same tenants for the next 5 years? How do we know that Peruvian food is still going to be trendy in 2, 3, 4 years from now? We need to keep space for Mexican, possibly Caribbean. We're all aware of a landlord at some stage that decided to put as a tenant the best burger the city had to offer in a certain space. The tenant had to pay for their fit out, their minimum rent, their advance rent, their percentage rent, their marketing contribution, their rates, their service charge, their utilities. And what happens after a certain amount of time? Of course, that tenant starts possibly to cut corners, needs to make his money back. The quality could go down. Very difficult for a mall to manage that process. Trends come and go faster and faster, and we need to keep pace. So let's put the best of the city on one roof. Concept: food, drink, art, culture, music, entertainment, with Time Out as your social companion. If it's good, it goes in a magazine. If it's really good, it goes into the market. The brand has a presence in 108 cities in 39 countries. We reach a monthly audience of 150 million people every month. What an amazing and powerful marketing machine we have behind the markets. A proper mix, not only Michelin star chefs. We're also able to give the new kid on the block an opportunity to express himself, the kids that cannot afford central locations themselves. We give them a proper platform to express themselves and present their idea globally. All the bars are managed by Time Out, one licensee, one experienced operator. Multiple cross-selling opportunities for beverage brands across print, digital, and the physical representation. Culture, events, concerts, exhibitions by local artists, cooking schools, a real point of difference. After all we want is people to have fun and be happy. Time Out Market in Lisbon has over 7,000 reviews on TripAdvisor with an average of 4.5 stars. This is more than the Tower of London. That puts it into perspective a bit. Our concept is clear. Bring the best of the city under one roof. The Time Out Group is now rolling the format out to other cities around the globe as part of its growth strategy. We've announced, subject to planning permission, new markets in Miami, Boston, Chicago, London. More will be announced as we get closer to signing leases. We're actively talking to landlords and developers in Europe, in the US. And I'm sure that soon developers will acknowledge that great food and beverage concepts can also be treated as loss leaders or anchor stores like fashion used to be. Because what we're seeing is demand for quality food in fun and convivial environment at a good price, and that leaves less and less space for the white tablecloths. Thank you.
A couple of questions. What type of buildings are you looking for?
Buildings would have a certain DNA, something a bit out of the ordinary.
But something slightly different, be it a parking lot, for example?
For example, that's why we renovate. That's why the old market in Lisbon 4 years ago was a downgraded building. We brought it back and we created a new city center around it.
Okay. Retail?
No.
No.
Purely
Music?
restaurants.
I noticed in your concept there was no music.
A lot of music,
a lot of music.
Entertainment, where planning allows us to, or the neighbors allow us to. Okay. We'll have concerts as well. Everything the magazine does, we represent it physically.
Okay. And in terms of rent, what sort of rent is a typical arrangement for
as low as possible. But usually we're around 5%.
5%, very good. Yeah, okay.
Very long-term lease.
And how do you, because we've got lots of concepts in the room here as well, so they might be interested in taking a space with you. How do they get into the process?
First, they have to be visited by the magazine, and they need to have 4 or 5 stars in the magazine. It is not Didier's Food Hall or the shareholders' Food Hall.
Okay.
We work very closely with the magazine.
Okay, all right. Great, well, Didier, thank you so much for joining us.